Drew Joyce, who is one of the big names who came in within the last month or so. And we're underway from Berlin, Mercedes-Benz Arena. And it is Stefan Pino, excuse me, who will be looking to run things at point guard in the absence of Peyton Siva. Out wide, Vargas. And that's a wide open look, isn't it, to Dennis Clifford. And Dennis Clifford, well, doesn't need a second invitation to drop that one from the elbow. Beautiful look there from Vargas, and maybe surprised by how open he was. Clifford takes the shot willingly. Conklin, well, he started off with a few assists to his name, and he is on the board. Butterfield thought about it off the dribble, thought better of it though, and here's Sikma now. Butterfield in the corner, back to Sikma. Morency on the defense, backdoor cut. Couldn't find him there though, and here is Grigonis. Grigonis from way downtown. Grigonis, a guy who shoots many more threes than he does two-point field goals. In fact, Marius Grigonis, that's a beautiful drive there from Joyce, who seems to be having his way in the early quarter. And back into the game for the first time. Josh Carter, I should say. Marius Grigonis, 13 two-point field goals through this far in the regular season. 23, let's make that now. Jaite, and now Schneider from the free throw line. And they've been finding a soft spot in the Limoges defense, and it's been right there at the free throw line. Howard, William Howard into the game as well. Gibson finds Jaite. Well done by the big man, keeping it above his head and going to the basket quickly before the defenders could converge. Here's Bennett Hunt again. Knew he was going to get some time when Siva went down. He's only played about 32 minutes this entire season. Butterfield couldn't corral it, and will there be a backcourt? Indeed there will, as him and William Howard pulls up off the crossover, no good. And it's rebounded by Grigonis. Grigonis, the Lithuanian, more of a shooter than a ball handler, but ball handler. Kicked out wide. Here's Schneider. Yoshika Saibo in the corner, time running down, and it's Schneider who bangs home a three, lifting this lead to 6 points here in the first quarter. And Limoges, well, have been trailing since about 2 minutes into this game, all the way from Limoges to Berlin, and, well, rooting on their fans. Here now, Grigonis almost lost control, down low. Radoslavic. Beautiful little move there, jab step by Hunt, got it over to Radoslavic, and a soft touch from the big man. Gibson got around Hunt. Clark, Howard now. Howard out of control, and you could see it on the shot as it went flailing off the backboard. Hunt now. Hunt. Radoslavljevic again, and he's got a couple buckets in a row. Great look and a beautiful dish there. I believe it was Schneider on the pass. Gibson all on his own. Just rattled out, and he had to do it as the time was winding down. Alba Berlin off to a found as much success. Their only wins this year have come against Bilbao and Partui, which puts them in the driver's seat of that. Stepping out on the pick. Limoges not a great offensive team, but that man right there has certainly come in and helped things out. Drew Joyce, who is no stranger to this arena or this country. Spent 9 years in Germany, and he is the leading assist man in German basketball history. And he starts with one right there on a first possession for Limoges. Beautiful look down low. Here's Alba Berlin now from deep. That's Pino. Pino knocks it home. Stefan Pino, who gets 7.3 points a game, will be looking to take advantage of this start here tonight. Great give and go, and that's Boutte slash into the bucket. As great court awareness there from Boutte, saw the lane, and right after he gave up the ball, slashed to the bucket, expecting it back. Jaite gets into the way of Spencer Butterfield, the leading scorer for Alba Berlin on that defensive possession, and Jaite now will give the ball right. Stefan Pino, who is a Barcelona youth product, debuted with the Blaugrana at 17 years old, only 20 years old. The Serbian, that of Serbian descent, mother of Ghanaian descent. Vargas going strong to the rack, but he was met by a wall of yellow, and now it's Drew Joyce who will hold things up. Comes off the screen, and a couple offensive fouls in a row. This time it's on Brian Conklin, who was just in the early going. It's Alba Berlin taking care of the ball. They're one of the worst teams in terms of turnovers committed per game, second to last. Second, depending on how you want to look at it, but they give up the second most turnovers in Euro Cup. Limoges, though, have turned the ball over here in the first few minutes a couple of times. Boutte with the rebound. Gets around one defender in the lane, double clutch, no good as it went off the front iron. Jaite there with the rebound. Jaite just muscling his way to the bucket, and Jaite's on the board for the first time tonight. Iowa Milling knows what's at stake. A win would put them that much closer to the next round. Clifford again, and from the same spot he opened his account with, knocks home another one from the free throw line. Joyce, 2-3 zone look here. Slips it on to Jaite. Jaite couldn't convert close to the bucket, and now the outlet pass after Sigma collects the rebound. Vargas thought about the entry pass inside, but instead it's Butterfield in the corner. 7-6 on the early going. Clifford took a drop step and buried that shoulder. A couple offensive fouls each way. Even Stevens here. Alba Berlin came into this match as the heavy favorites despite having things pretty much settled. Joyce is swarmed by a couple of defenders. He splits the double team though, and Boutte's wide open underneath the basket. Great look from Drew Joyce, who's got 3 assists already on the young match. It's right between Dennis Clifford's hands, but he goes and backtracks and makes up for it as he saves possession. And a sloppy looking zone this time, and left that well short. Conklin there, but Sigma from behind, and he denies Brian Conklin. Vargas wanting to get in inside for the big man down low. That's Bogdan Radoslavjevic. Vargas, quick trigger from the corner, and he knocks it down. 10-8 here for Alba Berlin as we've gone back and forth through the first 5 minutes of the opening quarter. Butterfield went down. Joyce goes to the rim on the far side. That is track stopped by the very disciplined Alba Berlin defense, and outside that was no good from Kenny Hayes. Hayes has had a quiet start to this match. Sigma wants 3 of his own from the top of the key, and he'll get it. His first points of the evening, and that stretches out the lead to 5 points for the home side. Hayes now. Joyce. Off the screen. Joyce looking in the corner. Hayes stops and pops, but he couldn't knock it down. Vargas tracks down the rebound on the other end. Now looks inside, and that's a beautiful dish. And how about the big Serbian turned German international run? It was deflected, ends up falling to Jaite, and he finds his way to the bucket and is able to put it home. Jaite with 4 points. Butterfield with the fader, and not an easy shot as he was falling away from Jean-Frédéric Morency. Joyce pump fakes, and he was fouled. That was Bogdan Radoslavljevic, a young man from Utah State. Was an all-star in into the game. Doesn't play a whole lot, but he has 4 games registered and under his belt here. Make it a 5th now after getting some action in the first half and now into the second. Gibson into the corner, and well, it was a bit 0.2 minutes before this game, and looking for a double of his point throws, and unable to find any joy from the free throw line in that stint was Krisimir Nikic. Hayes, jab step, gets to the baseline. Boutte now almost lost his footing, dribbled into a double team, and now here's Conklin. 4 on the clock. Conklin lowers his shoulder, barrels over Sigma, and then a beautiful little touch off the glass to knock it down when he knew that time was getting tight. That's Pino into the game again. Started this game, Stefan Pino. You know, world of traffic there, but somehow got it to go as Conklin was applying the double team from behind. Found some space, not only to get a look at the basket, but get a pretty good look at the basket. Hayes, and he shuffled his feet there as he jump stepped. The fraction was. Joyce, that's good defending. You can't blame Drew Joyce there, can you? Did a heck of a job just keeping Stefan Pino in front of him. Grigoris. Joyce poked it away once, twice. Now with 3 on the clock, it's Spencer Butterfield, no good. Long outlet pass, and it's Boutte all by himself. And that's an easy deuce in transition. Pressure coming from Limoges out of the timeout. But only light pressure there as defenders back away. Pino, Conklin, Sigma wide open for 3, and he rattles it home. And again, Limoges cuts it to within a few points. And there's Alba Berlin answering, extending the lead here late in the first half. Conklin, ball screen, Boutte out to Joyce. Conklin in rhythm, doesn't shoot very many 3-pointers, and well, the long rebound would not fall to Ledeca. Brian Conklin yet to make a 3-pointer here on the year. And you can see didn't look extremely comfortable in doing so, did he, on that last occasion. Oh for 3 on the year. Referees just having a look at the last play. I think they want to have a look and see if there was a flailing elbow by any chance, or what exactly the replay will indicate. We'll have an answer for you when they get done with a little chat from the scorers table. Both teams a foul away from the bonus. Oh, maybe they were just having a look to see if there was a three-pointer or a two-pointer. Nonetheless, the Sigma shot, I believe. They wanted to see if it was 3 points or 2 points, and they took a point off the board, which means Sigma had a foot on the line. It's his first year out of Spain after leaving Zalgiris. Went to Huesca, then Manresa, then Tenerife. Was in Tenerife last year for that successful season that they had. Joyce, Jaite back into the game, and he's banging down low with Radoslav Ljevic. Double team comes. Joyce over to Hayes, back to Joyce now. Joyce, money with the three ball, and that's a bad turnover by Sigma. Marius Grugo, 42-37. Conklin on the ball now. Little mix-up down low as Jaite is the one who was the intended receiver, but good defending there as Jaite's big body couldn't shield off Sigma. Sigma now. Butterfield with a little floater in the lane, no good, and Conklin on the rebound. The ex-St. Louis University Billiken. Played at 3 in France. I'd just be missing those days in Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic here during these long, cold German nights. 3-point game now. Alba Berlin has had their lead. That was once 9, cut down, and that's Stefan Pino again with a nice little shimmy to the bucket. And a gentle lay off the glass. Hayes. Jaite's open, so is Boutte. Boutte from 3-point range. And that's what Limoges likes to see. Boutte hitting from downtown. 44-42. Limoges well above their pace of 76 points per game here at the halftime mark. Butterfield from the top of the key answers back, and that's how we're gonna go to the locker rooms. Scored 9 points in his first and opening game under Kyle Milling. Howard now, 5 on the shot clock. Gotta think about something to do, and he's just gonna jack up a wild shot, but it fell right into the hands of Josh Carter, fortunately for Limoges. And they cut the lead down to 6. Radoslav Ljevic into the corner. It's Hunt. Hunt in the corner. No good. Too strong on the three-pointer, but Radoslav Ljevic again. Hunt's going to try another one. No good on that effort either. And it'll be Schneider with the off-the-ball foul, trying to track down the rebound. He came crashing. Ask a point guard, especially so young, 19 years old, Bennett Hunt. That was given right into the hands of William Howard, and Howard will run the break, but not seeing anything that he likes. Settle it down, look for Gibson. Danny Gibson now. Down low. Here is the new Lithuanian kicking it out to Gibson. Too strong on the shot. Took a couple looks at a three-pointer. Got 4 points on the year, does Bennett Hunt. Howard. Howard down low. This is Lideka for Carter, but he was fouled by Hunt, I believe. Time was winding. Gibson off the inbound, down low, Lideka, and that's a beautiful little jump hook to get his account started. Grigonis. 4-point lead, and well, you can just see the absence of a true ball handler as experience. There's been some times where Alba Berlin has looked a little shaky on the ball handling side of things. Not shaky there though as Tim Schneider powers his way into the lane, and then a soft little jump hook. Carter put it on the floor and well, in there to swipe it away from Josh Carter. You can see the enthusiasm there by the Lithuanian sharpshooter. Grigonis out wide. Hunt thought about it. Hunt at the free throw line, and he's off the mark. You can tell this crowd just urging on the youngster every time he gets the ball. Hayes wants to get himself into this game, and finally Kenny Hayes finds some success going to the rim. Kyle Millen with some words perhaps about that. Last foul whistled on Gibson. Hunt. He's quick, isn't he? He's very agile. And a beautiful poke away there from Lideka. But oh, what a big slam by Tim Schneider. Found himself wide open under the bucket. And they almost lost it. But it worked out in the end for Alba Berlin. And Lideka on the other end answers right back with a thunderous finish of his own. Back and forth they go, 30-26 here. Alba Berlin leading. Grigonis saw that open path to the rack. Grigonis knocks down the first of two. Free throw shooter, and he's the most fouled person on this Alba Berlin team. Strangely enough, they're a three-point shooter to be the most fouled person and have the most free throws. Sigma back into the game. Gibson tangles up a couple defenders. Boutte on the baseline, left it short. And it's Clifford there with the rebound. Sigma. Grigonis. Beautiful look from Sigma. We talked about how gifted he is with his passing ability. Clifford on the rebound after it was Saibo who couldn't get it to go from the baseline. Tough shot there from Kenny Hayes, who was looking for a bit of love from the referees after taking a bruising path to the basket. Grigonis, he'll spot up from three-point range, and that was left short. Off goes Gibson as he turns on the Jets. Down low, it's Boutte, working on Grigonis. Hayes is there, pirouette, looks out, Carter for three, off the mark there, and that's Sigma all the way on the other end, gonna beat everybody down the floor, and the easy bucket for Luke Sigma as the Germans lead by 8. And some pressure after the bucket from Saibo. Limoges got it close momentarily, but Alba Berlin have stretched this lead back out. Gibson couldn't get down in time to prevent Sigma from the easy transition bucket. Kenny Hayes now finds Conklin. Hayes. The screen, he'll use the screen. Hayes crossing over, getting into the paint. Gibson with 5 on the clock. Gibson off the glass, and a lovely move from Gibson there as he knew time was winding down in the shot clock. Grigonis. Butterfield wants it from this corner, no good as it clanks between the iron and the backboard. Butterfield and Dennis Clifford. Apparently go to the same hairstylist. Easily confuse those two if you don't take into account the size of Dennis Clifford. 2 meters 13. As he's having a chat with the referee. They're going to call it a jump ball after the ball got lodged between the rim and the backboard. 6-point game here, 4 minutes to go in this second quarter. And he's just talking to the trainer, might have to get something stitched up or bandaged up over there. As Garcia Meneses calls the big Serbian-born center into the game. Moved to Germany, did, oh no, excuse me, that's actually Kresimir Nikic getting a few fortunate minutes after Dennis Clifford is the German international, born in Serbia, scored 6 points in that first half. And we're back underway here from Berlin. Limoges trailing by 5. Would really love a win, wouldn't they, the visitors and the visiting fans who accompanied them on the trip. Hayes almost got himself into a bit of too much trouble, but Sickny impressed with the way his team has come out. Only 5 points for Alba Limoges, but they've also been held to some very low-scoring quarters. Joyce now. Off the screen. Wants to find Clark and Carter, Carter couldn't hit the three-pointer. And guess who's there for the rebound? It's Sigma with the game tied. Bennett Hunt into the game. Vargas as well. Sigma now. Sigma, he can dish the ball from the perimeter if he needs to. Looking for some options there and not on the same page with the youngster. 3 to go in the third. Joyce, teardrop, all nets from Drew Joyce. And a beautiful play from the newly acquired Drew Joyce, who was at AS Monaco before joining Limoges last month. 10 points for Joyce. Sigma. 12 points make that for Joyce. And what a steal there. Highway robbery by Drew Joyce as Sigma went into the paint. Joyce now working on Hunt. Gonna take it out to half court and reset. Set up a play, comes off a pick. That's Carter in the corner. Now to Boutte, 5 on the clock. Boutte from the elbow, no good. Jaite is there, and Jaite, oh, it was blocked by Sigma. Jaite to the line. Too strong on the first one, and delicate genius, as a matter of fact, when you see him down low. And the not-so-delicate genius splits the pair from the free throw line. Hunt off the screen, oh, and he slipped it over to Ronovers. Gibson, great ball movement. Gibson jacks it from 3. And Limoges taking their biggest lead of the game. 6 points for the away side. Hunt. Oh, ill-advised pass there, got himself into a bit of trouble, and now in transition, it's Limoges again, leading by 6. Really where you miss Peyton Sima, isn't it? Gibson, 2 in a row, and Gibson in the face of Radoslavljevic, found his mismatch and pulled the trigger. One from behind, it's Morency who poked it away, and it will be a points of the game. 0 for 2, rebound still loose, and Boutte corrals it with under a minute to go in the third. 55-63. Limoges have turned things around here in this third quarter. Only 8 points for Alba Berlin here in the opening quarter out of halftime. 4 on the clock. 3 now. Boutet's got to make a decision, and the turnaround jumper on the baseline. Smooth from the Frenchman, Axel Boutet. The 22-year-old has 13 points on the night. Down low, and that's a big bucket there from 11.5 with 5, I believe. He's committed 7 here in this cut. Couldn't convert the 3-point opportunity, and now with 4 on the clock, Gibson from the same spot, off the mark, but Limoges closed this third quarter out leading. But take a look at the replay right here. Well, he could have put the ball down on the floor, but either way, it is the 6th turnover for Limoges here tonight. Alba Berlin doing a good job taking care of the ball. Sigma. Butterfield, pump fake. Drops it from the corner. Spencer Butterfield has been having a very successful day from beyond the arc. Kenny Hayes, that one off the back iron. And Sigma there pulls down the rebound. Sigma with his 5th board of the night. To Joyce. Joyce now whips it over to Conklin. Hayes on the baseline. Hayes powering through some bodies. Conklin left it short. Rebound still loose. Sigma going after it. And finally it falls to William Howard. Conklin, mid-range jumper, no good. Who's there on the rebound? It's Mom Jaite, and he's a great 3-point shooter, Spencer Butterfield. He'll show that pump fake to you, and it'll open up acres of space as he got Kenny Hayes flying past him. Grigonis all the way to the bucket. Grigonis with a strong drive and a friendly roll. Marius Grigonis handling some of the ball handling duties, and he's got 6 points on the night. Jaite, Howard has had a very silent night. Howard with a backdoor pass, but it was snipped out there by Pino. Grigonis, Butterfield thought about it. Trailing was Clifford, but it was intercepted, and now on the other end, Jaite's so good at that as he catches it and releases it in a matter of a blink of the eye. Jaite knows he can't put that ball down. He can barely bring it below his head before Dennis Clifford would have been there to swat it away from him. And hey, he's Jaite, so certainly knows what you got to do to avoid getting your shot swatted. Jaite again, and another quick release off the bounce pass from Drew Joyce, and Limoges with a bit of momentum right here. Can they continue to close the gap, or will Alba Berlin respond? Dennis Clifford into the paint, kicks it out. Butterfield had his path telegraphed there as Howard was coming, and so Howard will make the necessary adjustments, and we are back in play here from the Mercedes-Benz Arena. Joyce, Hayes wide open, puts the ball on the floor. Joyce out for 3, and he got it. Drew Joyce with a big triple there to cut the lead in half, and Howard with another steal as Alba Berlin start to get a bit sloppy with their ball handling. Howard out wide. Joyce thought about a 3 again, but instead he'll bring Pino out, cross him over. Joyce, baseline, 7 on the clock. Conklin there. Conklin gliding to the rim, no good. Out wide, it's Howard. Howard from deep, and it's tied up. 5th bit of a frustrated look on his face after a 5-point halftime lead has been conceded, and we are all square here, setting up for a very interesting last 16 minutes to this game. Pino. Grigonis. Working on Conklin. Shot clock winding down. Grigonis. Great defending by Conklin, and he had to throw up a shot in desperation, did Grigonis. Butterfield with the triple on the offensive rebound. Grigonis saves it, and look at Sigma. Sigma with a beautiful play, but he gave it away as he couldn't find Butterfield, and now Kenny Hayes calls for calm on the baseline. Tried the reverse. Difficult play as Butterfield was right there providing the defense. Sigma out of Grigonis. William Howard straps his hands behind his back before he gets called for the foul. Sigma now into trouble. Double team came. Pino out to Butterfield. Puts it on the floor. Pulls up from the corner. No good, but there's a foul called. And will it be on Conklin or Howard? It looks... Oh, unlucky for in his home court. All square here. Almost halfway through the third quarter. Grigonis now off the screen. Sigma. Pino in rhythm. Too strong, and look at Joyce Sky for the rebound. Battling with the big boys down low on the boards. Joyce picked up his dribble. Maybe a bit ill-advised. Defensive boards for Mam Jaite. And he has found his shooting rhythm again. After the previous 3 games, Mam Jaite had 7, 4, and 4 points in the previous 3, but back to his average here tonight at 10. Joyce. Jaite barrels his way through the paint. Boutte with a soft touch on the baseline as he dropped it home. And Limoges takes the lead for the first time since the early minutes of this first quarter. Sigma got Conklin and to Hayes, and oh, that was Hayes underneath the bucket, but he couldn't get it to go. And finally, Toshiko Saibo with the board. Great look from Conklin to find Hayes. It's a bit of a turning of the tables there. Saibo. Sigma makes sure his feet are behind the line, and that rattled out. Jaite with the board. And they'll be hard to derail, excuse the pun. 10 more minutes to play here. Limoges leading by 8 points at the Mercedes-Benz Arena. Alba Berlin in possession now, looking to cut this lead down. Saibo high off the glass, and a smooth touch there by Toshiko Saibo. Gibson, gotta be smart. In possession here does Limoges. Boutte on the baseline. Tough shot there from an almost impossible angle. And here come Alba Berlin on the other end. Josh Carter just getting a bit overzealous on the defensive end. Sigma. A bit of the same thing we saw in the... He's solid as a rock, isn't he? The Frenchman. Gibson wouldn't dare, would he? Got it back to Jaite, who put it on the floor. Soft jump hook in the lane as the time was winding down. And a big shot there from Jaite. Jaite with 13. Pino. Saibo. Good look over to Clifford. Clifford too strong with the mid-range jumper. And it's Gibson there with the rebound. Gibson finds Morency. Morency all the way to the rack. And he got fouled from behind. And Sigmund drops them both home from the free throw line. And the home side trailing by 7. If they lose this game, they can say goodbye to winning Group C. If Limoges win, well, we've talked about what it means. think that's going to be a double 2. Under 4 to play, and Morency money on the first one. Morency only a 60% free throw shooter, and he's off the mark with his second. Double-digit lead here for the visitors. Butterfield passed it right into the hands of Howard, who's got a few steals on the night. Gibson for 3 again. Off the mark there, and a rare miss for Gibson from beyond the perimeter. Grigonis got his defender off balance with a pump fake, with the jab step, I should say, and couldn't convert. Howard on the rebound. Howard's got 4 steals on the night. And there's Morency. What a look by Danny Gibson, and Morency just danced his way to the bucket. Have a look. Well, when you attract so much attention from long range, that opens things up down low, and Morency caught Sikma a bit slow in trying to get back to Morency. Fans still trying to inspire this Alba Berlin team to a comeback. Ten-point game again. Limoges got to take care of the ball. Drew Joyce back into the game. Gibson has exited. Kenny Hayes as well. He's got the ball right now, does Hayes. Joyce into the corner. Howard spots up. No good. Rebound still loose, and it went off of Conklin last. And it'll be Alba Berlin ball with over 2.5 to play here in the fourth quarter. Not out of hand just yet. But Limoges will be hoping for some stops. Alba Berlin will be hoping for just the opposite. Grigonis, he can hit it from outside, can he? Grigonis, well, he left his feet and got fortunate that Sikma was there. Beautiful dish across the paint, and it's Dennis Clifford. He wasn't happy with just the 2 points, wanted the and one. Howard. Carter working on Dennis Clifford. Conklin now, 5 on the shot clock. Hayes into the paint. Hayes got it to Howard, and Sikma was there to prevent Howard. Chose to come over to Sikma, and that left Dennis wide open. Howard. William Howard, who is a 100% free throw shooter. Sikma couldn't get it to Butterfield. He's tried that on a number of occasions, hasn't he? And it's worked out to little success for Luke Sikma. Pino. Sikma got it right back to Pino. Out wide now, Grigonis. Grigonis passed up the 3. You won't see that too often. And a big rejection there from Mam Jaite, one of the leading shot blockers in Euro Cup. And he shows you why right there. Monster rejection. Limoges with the 10-point lead. Here's Joyce. And there was a foul on Jaite as he was just backing down. Free throw shooter. That is, might just be sensing. As you see the fans behind the bench right there, that the top 16 could just be within grasp. Put it on here, full court. Who's going to open up for it? It'll be Joyce, guarded by Pino. Double team came. Now slides it over to Hayes. Hayes is going to play a game of tag right now when we're under a minute to go here in the Mercedes-Benz Arena. Hayes, 8 on the clock. Howard to the baseline, pulls up, wild shot. Conklin there with the tip, no good. And on the other end, Grigonis pump fake. Grigonis with a three-pointer, that's money. If he gets a good look, it's hard for him to miss. Timeout called by Alba Berlin. Average on the season. Hayes, who got it last, and it was Saibo. 6-point lead and for Limoges, and Saibo just tossed that one away. Well, if Limoges want to be careful with the ball, so too do Berlin, even more so after giving up the ball way too many times in the third quarter. And that's one of the reasons for their downfalls. Howard in the corner from outside, and Howard knocks it down again and extends this lead to 9 points. And Limoges, coming out of the halftime break, have been on fire in three-point range. Howard, did he sneak in there? Ball's loose. Hunt goes after it, got it over to Spencer Butterfield, who looks into the corner. Saibo for three, too strong. But guess who's there? It's Radoslavljevic. Now, Hayes to the bucket, and he took the quick shot, not sure why. Down, up 6, and they didn't need to do it. Grigonis no good. Clifford with the rebound. Got to find an outlet pass, and it's Pino, Sigma in the corner, had it wide open, but elected to look down low to Dennis Clifford. Nice. Conklin, no need to put up a shot, and I believe Alba Berlin's just going to allow the shot clock to, the game clock to wind down, and Limoges is going to dribble it out here. Kenny Hayes going to the bucket. Of course, points differentials does matter. That's just a good basketball foul right there. Can't hit. 54.5% free throw shooter, and stays true to his average just about right there. 8-point game. Gibson in control of the ball. Limoges in possession, nursing an 8-point lead. Hunt applying the defense. Crossing over is Gibson. Going to do it all on his own, perhaps. No, finally gets it over to Carter. Carter pulls up from three-point range, and well off the mark was Carter. All the way out, defending on the perimeter was Bogdan Radoslavljevic. 8 minutes to go. Alba Berlin looking to keep their record against everyone who isn't named Lokomotiv Kuban Krasnodar. Looking to avoid a second straight loss here in Mercedes-Benz Arena. Hunt, what a beautiful pass. And that was Radoslavljevic, who had it slipped over to him by Hunt, and an easy finish under the bucket for the one-handed slam. 6-point game. Boutte thought about the three. Here's Lideka. Gibson was held up by Hunt, and Boutte, 4 on the shot clock. Off the mark, and guess who's there? It's Radoslavljevic with the rebound. Pick for Pino. Saibo. It was Alba Berlin who every time Limoges got close, pulled away in that first half. Let's see if Limoges can do the same thing here in the second half, or if Alba Berlin will have a bit more success and find a bit more joy in pulling things tight here in this fourth quarter. Morency. Strong drive as he put the ball on the floor, and Grigonis paid for it. Not only space, got to do something with it quick. 14 on the shot clock after the reset. After the foul, Gibson double team, got it down low. Lideka there and one. What a little slip pass over from Dan. Foul. Guilty party on the foul, I should say. Lideka. Points. Pino. Sigma now. Butterfield coming all the way from that far corner. Sigma finds Pino. Under 10 on the shot clock. Pino and one as he took some contact from all ends right there, didn't he? Team back into the mix here with a three-point play. They are only down by 6 with 6 minutes and 19 seconds to go here in this fourth quarter. Gibson off the dribble. Gibson rattles it home. And Limoges back up on top by 9. Gibson has been on fire in this second half from outside. Sigma, backdoor pass. Who did go off last? For Limoges, it's been Gibson from three-point range. Howard, difficult shot as it was deflected on his way up. Pino. Saibo slipped. So too did Carter, though, which left Saibo wide open. And Saibo nails the three. And we're back to 6 points here. A little more than 5 minutes into this fourth quarter. Pino. Perimeter for Howard. Howard from way downtown, and that one just rattled out. Gibson again. Gibson on fire in this second half. Danny Gibson taking over the game. And Limoges lead now again by 9. Look at Kenny Hayes playing cheerleader over there on the sideline. Sigma. And will it be a foul? Indeed, it will be. Morency